And we are back at the Maestro Resort and Casino. I'm Kane Callis, sitting alongside me, Randy Nanonoko Liu. We are broadcasting the main event in the Triton Super High Roller Series. As you can see, we have a new featured table here with a lot of familiar names.
The big one that everyone's been wanting to watch, Phil Ivey. He's got about starting stack. Plus got Steve O'Dwyer, who got second place in yesterday's 6-max 250K event. And got a new face there. That's Steven Tang over in seat number 8. I think we've seen Dietrich Fast earlier, Makita Badziakowski, Jason Kuhn. It's Peter Jetton in the middle. We saw him play a little bit. Phil Ivey, there he is. You guys are welcome.
Now this is an exciting feature table because it has both of our picks to win this event. You picked Phil Ivey, and I took Badziakowski.
Yeah, the good news is if they bust today, they can just re-enter.
Well, it seems like Ivey has been staying right around starting stack. Ivey really, he played the most tight, solid of anybody the last time we saw him at the feature table here.
Tight is right. So here's the flop. Badziakowski, I think it checked around, actually. The blinds are now 2,000, 4,000 for a 500 ante. Badziakowski with just king, queen high. He's the one firing half the pot. Trying to get some hands to fold. Actually a tough spot for pocket jacks. And the player bets into 2 players. Representing ace pretty well. But Jason Kuhn, he's not a believer. He's gonna call. Actually doesn't want to hit a jack. That would be brutal. Here comes the river card, 18% for Badziakowski. Ace on the river. Makes Kuhn's hand look a bit better.
Yeah, that is the card that Kuhn wanted to see.
Badziakowski now. He's got king, queen high. Checked around a flop. He can represent an ace pretty well, but Jason Kuhn can as well. So it's tricky. It's kind of a bit of a guessing game. Usually Badziakowski puts Jason Kuhn on like a 10. But sometimes he's got an ace as well. So he just checks and gives it up. So Jason Kuhn ships that pot. Very nice call.
The Kuhnster takes one down.
Slightly above starting stack. Big blind is 4,000. Wonder what Phil Ivey's listening to. Seems like he's changing the track on his iPod.
I heard he likes Taylor Swift.
He likes Taylor Swift?
And Katy Perry.
Bad day.
Wouldn't surprise me. He's got good taste.
New bullet, new day. Are you on the second one? Yeah.
But that's only when he's not listening to Rebecca Black.
Yeah. No.
I thought I heard Jason Kuhn said he's on his second bullet, but I'm not quite sure. Didn't quite catch that one. I'm not sure who's on her second bullet. Peter Jetton, not a player we've seen play too much on our feature tables. It's been around for a long time. He's gonna make the raise of King 10 offsuit. Steven. It's a Hong Kong player. Ace Jack. He's got a short stack. I like to see him shove all in here with 20 big blinds. It's a regular in these high stakes games. He's gonna shove it in. I like it. A lot of amateurs might make the mistake of just trying to see a flop of Ace Jack. No, you should just reshove all in. Get your opponent to fold now. Jetton's gonna have to fold this.
There's a familiar face.
Corey Aldemir, we saw him bust earlier. He's rebought. You might think this is his second re-entry. It's actually his third. I've been told that he rebought, got moved to the same table he busted on, and got in pocket jacks against, no, ace king against pocket jacks of Leong Chan, and lost that bullet on the very first hand on his second bullet. So this is actually Corey Aldemir's third bullet. So he's in for a lot. 3 million Hong Kong right now. 3 million Hong Kong was yesterday's first place prize. So Corey's going to need to do well. Unlucky for him, but he knows how it is. As long as he plays his best, the results will come.
I think that's going to take Corey off his game a little bit, make him play a little more aggressive to try to chase up a big stack here.
It works both ways. Some people also treat it as, okay, I really don't want to bust. But there's always the real professionals that just play the best every single time. I mean, he's an aggressive player. Not too sure how he's going to react to it. Just want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to just try to play good. 37 entries so far. Aldemir, ace king. He just busted with this hand on his second bullet, first hand. I would hate to see him get it in again and lose.
Oh man, it would be fun if somebody had queens find him. Somebody wake up with queens.
Looks like Bad Day Kalski will give him some big blind action though.
What kind of jacket does Phil Ivey have on?
Can't really look.
Is that black denim?
What is the bind usually? Yeah, they only had like 5 decks. That was the reason? Yeah, they only ran out of decks. Okay. Oh, I thought you gotta keep using it. I thought the system was not working. No, they just ran out of decks.
So Bad Day Kalski outflops Aldemir. His bad luck continues. Gonna start with check. Ace king here. Do you like the betting? Do you like checking?
I like betting here.
Yeah, it's a lot of good turn cards you can multi-barrel on. Jack, queen, heart. We'll see if he bets.
I only remember
So actually checks it back. Nothing wrong with that. That's a Kalski mid pair, or actually bottom pair for a straight draw. I think I like to see him bet. A lot of times people just have 2 overs, but I guess he checks.
Yeah, I prefer a check here, I believe.
Over to Aldemir right now. This is level 7, the final level of the day. The final level, guys, and then tomorrow we play down to the final table. Not sure what the official final table is, though. I think it's 8 players. There's a chance it's 9. A final table of 8 players. Okay, we play down to 8 tomorrow. I can read a book. Check, check. On the turn. Do you ever consider a value bet with bottom pair of 5s?
No, that seems pretty thin. At the same point in time, I don't really ever expect to be beat. I guess it's possible my opponent could have ace-5.
Wow, this is, look at this great play right here. He just knows he's got the best hand, 9,000. It's a reasonable value bet. It's not a big one, but big enough. It's not like he's betting 4,000. Aldemir just needs to put him on nothing. But the way Aldemir's played this hand looks like ace-king high. It looks like ace-queen. Looks like ace-jack. It's a leveling game. If you know I have ace-king, well, wouldn't you want to bluff me off ace-king? So he's going to make the call.
Wow. What a great bet by Batsiakowski, and that really shows why he's such a good player. Able to get value there with just his 5-6 on the river, where a lot of players may have just checked.
All right.
Yeah, I probably would not have got that value, and that is why he's playing and I am commentating.
I'm glad this guy's my horse.
Okay, it's a great player.
And he's up to 570K in chips.
Yeah, we don't know how he got those chips, but doing well. Looks like someone's packing up his chips and getting sent off to another table.
I think that's Kuhn.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
Yep. Bye-bye, Kuhn.
Jorge Aldemir, pocket aces, raising up under the gun. Over to Ivy, Jack-9 suited. Seen Ivy play pretty snug so far in this main event.
He lets it go.
Thinks about it and chooses to let it go there.
Peter Jetton folds his 6-4 offsuit.
You are happy. Very happy, yeah.
Aldemir can't even get action of aces. Sucks to be him right now.
Got it through with aces. That's what I assume actually. That's the first hand of the two. Ace king against. First bullet ace king against queen, second bullet ace king against jacks. First hand. Third bullet ace king first hand again. Peter hits the 6. Sounds like that bar is smaller than the
All right, over to Devon. Folds queen 10 offsuit.
Time to start open folding or open jamming with ace.
Ivy, ace 3 offsuit in the cutoff.
Jamming didn't work.
Oh, okay. Then you should be folding.
Especially if Nikita isn't a big.
Yeah. I mean, now everyone's following the advice.
He's able to value bet the shit out of it.
Peter Jetton limps the small one at 10-8 offsuit. Aldemir of Jack-5 offsuit. Is he going to make a play, or is he just going to see a free flop?
Three king 9. I think Jetton might lead this board. Does for a little bit less than half pot. That's good enough to win. We saw Jetton briefly in event number 1, which was the 250,000 Hong Kong dollar buy-in short deck event. Their Jungle Man trying to make conversation with him, but Jetton was not very talkative that day. He doesn't seem very talkative now either.
I feel like he doesn't talk much, but when he says something, it's important. You better listen. Badziakowski, ace-jack offsuit. raise to 10,000. Aldemir of 9-6 of hearts in the small blind. He's gonna let that one go. Old Dwyer, Queen 6 offsuit. Probably gonna let this one go as well. On to the next hand. I mean, Corey is, you know, he seems pretty cheery despite like being on his third bullet already. So it's good to see he's in good spirits.
You know, we're here in Montenegro. It's pretty warm outside. It's not particularly cold in this poker room, and yet 2 people at this table are sporting scarves.
I think the scarves is actually to hide your pulse. That's what I've been told. Some people do it.
3 people at the table.
You're playing a $100,000 USD tournament. Kind of makes sense to kind of protect yourself as much as you can. I don't do it just because I don't own a scarf. Too expensive.
Folds over to O'Dwyer, the Irish pro, sporting his Celtic green scarf.
He's going to see a flop. Devin Tang here, 7-5 of hearts. He's a short stack. I like to see a flop here because a lot of times you get limp shoved on and then you... Nope, he's going to raise. But I'm just saying, it depends on the opponent. Some opponents actually would just shove into you, just little pocket pairs, so then these guys actually would be better to raise against. Actually, O'Dwyer strikes me as a guy who just shoves into you a lot, so actually raising his limp seems a bit more effective.
Like, do you think with a hand like Tang's, he should just go all in for his 20 big blinds?
No, I think he can just do a play as is. I think it's quite good. So nice spot for Devin.
Still can't figure out what Ivy's wearing.
Oh.
It's probably worth a lot of money. Over to Badziakowski of ace-6 of clubs. He's going to raise to 10K, right? He actually has different pre-flop raise sizes, maybe depending on who's in the big blind. Jetting with pocket 6s. Going to try and see a flop here in position.
Nope, he lets it go.
Oh, let's go with pocket 6s. I'm a little bit surprised there. He's got like 60 big blinds, right?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Maybe
I think it's very close there.
Maybe knows Badziakowski has a 6 in his hand.
Can you change, please?
All right, over to Dietrich Bass in the big blind. Jack 10 offsuit. He's going to see a flop.
I believe in general people call behind with pocket pairs far too often. I think in Jetton's spot there, 7s is for sure a call, 5s is for sure a fold.
Well, he would have got probably blown off with the flop. Bass outflops Badziakowski. He's going to check. I think Badziakowski's going to bet here. He's been betting at a lot of flops with ace high, especially with a backdoor flush draw. He's got multi-barrel potential, so he is going to bet 10,000. Dietrich Bass most likely going to check call here. No reason to fast play. Here comes 10,000.
And it's blue scarf versus gray scarf going to the turn.
Turns a jack of clubs.
Wow.
It's a good card to 2-barrel because you have so many outs. You get a king, a club, and actually because your opponent called from the big blind, He's very unlikely to have ace-king, while you certainly can. So kind of like cap ranges is kind of what they would call it. So you can actually bet pretty big here, and your opponent usually has to fold. Fast is not going to fold Jack 10.
Baziakowski might be thinking about a big overbet in this spot.
Because he's got a lot of fold equity, and if he's behind, he's going to hit a king and clubs a lot.
37.
So he is going to pot size bet here, put maximum pressure on his opponent. Very well aware that he can have ace king, and his opponent practically does not ever have ace king. Maybe about 5% of the time. But Fast is not going to fold Jack 10. Going to feign some weakness. Take a little bit of time. Probably call when the clock's about to hit 1. Try to pretend he's got a side call here. You can probably get Baziakowski to fire again, assuming it's a blank river.
Yeah, no, if that scarp is meant to hide his pulse, it's not doing a very good job there. It's hanging pretty low.
It's, maybe give some lessons on that. Here comes the river as a 9. It's actually a bad card for both players. For Fast, he's like, oh my god, this guy can have a king a lot. For Baziakowski, it's actually not a good card to bet, because someone who check calls the turn can easily have like king queen or jack king, 10 king, a lot of outs. So I think Baziakowski usually won't bet here, but if he does, he doesn't need to bet too much, because his opponent is he's trying to target 2 pair type hands, right? Queen 10, queen jack, but
I think Baziakowski is going to bet here. I think that it's pretty seldom that he reaches the river with a hand worse than this one. I think he needs to go ahead and bluff with this combo.
I'm guessing you bluff, you just need to bet like 45K, right? You don't need to bet too much.
I think he's going to go about 65K. He's going to go enough to get 2 pair to fold.
I do think some 2 pairs will still fold to turn on the river, but he just checks.
Oh, he does just check.
So Fast is going to have Jack 10 there. Nice pot.
Advantage blue scarf.
I do think that Baziakowski might bet the river more often if it was just like a 7, a 6, a 5. You know, just some kind of low card that didn't make a 4 straight out there. So Beatrick Fast, 116 big blinds. He wasn't doing too well earlier in the day. Not sure if he re-entered, but doing quite well now.
Oh, big blind.
Don't forget to follow this channel so you know when tomorrow's stream starting, you'll be notified.
Dealer change here. It's the last level of play today in the 1 million Hong Kong dollar buy-in main event. This is event number 3 of this 4-event tournament series here in Montenegro. As we can see, Mikita Baziakowski is the chip leader at this table. Tang is bringing up the rear. It's a short stack. Phil Ivey hanging out right around a starting stack. He's been very, very taggy in this tournament, very calculated pre-flop. So is Peter Jetton, who folds under the gun, and now it's over to O'Dwyer, who took second place in event number 2 here. O'Dwyer did not play event number 1, which was the short deck no limit tournament. I'm not sure how much experience O'Dwyer has with short deck. Now after he opens, Tang has a decision here. He has 27 big blinds, and he has Queen Jack suited. I'd like to see him call here.
Is he re-raising though? He is re-raising.
He does re-raise up to 25,000.
Looks pretty strong actually.
The question
get a lot of
is,
folds.
when you re-raise here up to 25,000, your opponent shoves, I guess you have to just fold.
Yeah, you'd be folding for sure.
O'Dwyer not letting his hand go. And O'Dwyer makes a call with 10-7 of hearts. This is a very loose call.
Yeah, very loose. I'm not in love with the out of position, but it flops king, king, king over Devin Tang. Well, he doesn't need to bet too much. Checks it though. Maybe, I like his check though. It looks like super strong when you check back this flop, right? They got ace king. You would never bet ace king on the flop, so actually pretty credible. O'Dwyer here, just 10-7 high. Is he gonna fire at this? No, he checks. Check, check, actually, interesting. Maybe Devin's a little bit suspicious as to why O'Dwyer called his 3-bet out of position. And maybe thinks O'Dwyer is stronger than he really is. Do you think Devin stabs the river or he just takes it to showdown?
I think he's going to take it to showdown. He's not going to get that many better hands to fold. It works out for him.
Yeah, I kind of would like the bet. I think he can get better hands to fold, like ace 10.
Did you see?
Ace
I didn't
jack.
see the card.
I mean, certainly if he had fired multiple barrels.
Queen Jack of clubs.
Yeah, it certainly would work.
10 high.
But Devin actually showed down his hand without having to put any more chips in.
Yes, 1, 2. It's all of us. What time are they starting in the morning?
1, I think.
1 o'clock? Yeah, probably.
This is the last level today. Gave you guys Phil Ivey. If you want to tweet at Triton Poker, you can let them know who you want to see on the featured table tomorrow. They will try their best to make it happen. So do tweet at them at Triton Poker. They also have Facebook, which is Triton Poker, and Instagram at Triton Poker Series. Twitter probably the easiest way to get a hold of them. Might want to let them know that you like our commentary. Only if you do, of course. Dietrich fast raising Ivy of Ace King suited makes it 35,000 on the dealer button. Bad Zakowski of King Queen. He's got that kind of 4-bet blocker hand I was telling you about, Kane, but I think he's just going to fold.
Yeah, he does let it go. Again, Ivy has been pretty snug in general. I don't think that's going to matter to Fast, though. Fast with the pocket tens is certainly going to continue here. He does call, and Dietrich Fast will be playing a 3-bet pot against Phil Ivey again. The last time Phil Ivey got the best of Fast. This time a disaster flop for Phil Ivey. Top 2 pair for Phil Ivey and bottom set for Dietrich Fast. But there are 3 diamonds in the board, so that may slow Phil Ivey down.
Yeah, but man, it's hard not to get stacked when this pot is getting so big.
Well, Ivey bets 40,000. He has 190,000 left. Are we going to see Fast raise or just call here?
I think both options are pretty good here.
I think we're going to see Fast raise. I think they're shallow enough. Nope, he's reaching for chips and calls.
I think when he raises, he feels like he's representing a super strong hand, lets Ivy get away from like ace, queen, ace, jack type hands. But this is the problem: when you don't raise, an extra diamond rolls off or queen or jack rolls off, and you would stack ace, king here. So we're check, check. River is a 5.
This is hot water.
And this pot could have been even bigger, but it's just gonna go check, check. You know, Fast is basically thinking, please don't bet, please don't bet, please don't bet. Ivy's like, please don't bet, please don't bet. Let's just go check, check.
Ooh.
Phil Ivey lost just shy of 1/3 of his stack in that hand. Randy, that's your horse. You gotta pick him up here.
I'm trying to do it for the chat. They love Ivy. It's okay. I'll get to choose again tomorrow, right?
I think you got to stick with him until he's officially out, permanently out of the tournament.
Permanently.
That's a good turn card. Like a bad one.
Over to Devin Tang. Actually grinded up his 80k stack to 142,000 without any all-in spots. Raises the ace-3 of diamonds.
It is just a min raise, but Aldemir just has 10-4 offsuit in the big blind. I think I'd be pitching this one. Not Aldemir, though. He calls. To the flop, 7-8 queen.
Yeah, I think 10-4 offsuit's a bit loose. Is he really thinking outplay Devin Tang? Devin Tang's a regular in these games. I'll say this, if you know your opponent is defending as weak as 10-4 offsuit, there's a lot of merit to just continuation betting like any flop, right? Because they're defending like king deuce offsuit, queen deuce, you know, like just these hands that just miss so bad. Because we were discussing about whether to c-bet or check back some flops. But I would say like, if he's got 10-4 offsuit, I would just bet. It lets Aldemir get there on the turn for 10. $11,000, half pot. Devin Tang really can't continue. He's such a ridiculous read if he does try and call here, but nope, let it go.
Aldemir showing some signs of life on his 3rd bullet here.
just smiling all the time.
Everyone tired, huh?
If everyone's tired, that's a nice time to be aggressive.
Too much food. The dinner break. That's too much.
Yeah, it was so much.
That was a nice dinner, though.
You guys
I
didn't
ate
know.
almost nothing from there.
Oh, really?
I went to the buffet, yeah.
That's how you get Peter Jutton talking.
I ate almost everything.
What a waste.
The buffet, the dinner was delicious. They had
I
a
think Asian
nice gala dinner for the players.
to Europe.
That was very good.
Yeah, VIPs like
Also,
me
almost
and
all of
Kane got to
Stefan's
go eat
portions.
as well. It was like a, a set menu, so many different appetizers and main courses. It was a feast. But Dietrich Fast went to the buffet instead. He doesn't like Chinese food.
Missed out on that good pork belly.
Yeah, it was delicious. I was like, oh, you don't want to eat that? Okay, I'll take it. Corey Aldemir, ace 10 suited. He's going to re-raise this one. I wouldn't fault him. It's a nice play, but I think he feels like he's been a bit too active. So he's going to take the calling instead.
Pretty surprised by that. I would have expected Aldemir to bump it up here out of the small blind.
So Devin's going to get a free flop with this Jack 10. Would have folded. And he outflops both players. Jack 10. Top pair, but actually Aldemir has the nut flush draw. He actually has a most likely chance to win in this three-way pot, 44%. Devin's going to bet about 12,000, 11.5. Dietrich Fast probably going to call here with middle pair and a backdoor flush draw.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't fold this. You get position. You don't call this hand to fold these flops. Not even that big of a bet. Just a third pot. So he's going to make the call, and
Now
Corey
Aldemir
Aldemir,
loves his spot here. He's going to be bumping it up.
You know, if he makes the check raise here, his opponent's got to think he's got a set a lot or two pair. Very easy for him to pocket fives, pocket nines, jack nine. Pre-flop makes a lot of sense. You know, if he just calls here, it's not a bad play as well, but I kind of like check raising, putting maximum pressure on your opponent. No
Yeah.
way Fast continues with mid pair of nines. Jack 10 probably considers a fold. He's got to be worried about being out-kicked,
Yeah, I actually wouldn't expect Aldemir
but he just
to
calls.
have top two that often, having defended the small blind.
I could have a Jack 9 suited, right?
Interesting he just calls. I thought that
Yeah.
would be an automatic check raise. What do you think, Nano?
I guess he's just a bit worried that Tang won't fold. So trying to maybe catch someone with a flush draw as well, trying to make a flush over flush situation. Just a bit passive. Maybe he's lost 2 bullets and doesn't want to just splash around anymore. Not too sure why, but it's okay to call. Devin checks over to Dietrich Fast. I think he needs to check here. Too often someone has a jack. What is the point of betting? Just letting better hands put more chips in when you're behind. Is he reaching for chips?
Yeah, I agree with you there, Nano.
He's betting 45,000. He's turning his hand into a bluff. I don't like this play, but actually funny. It might actually work out for him because Aldemir is probably not going to fold his ace-10 suited here, and Devin Tang's probably going to fold when he sees a bet and a call in front of him with Jack-10 kicker. So it's actually going to work out.
Well, hold on a second. I think Aldemir might be going all in.
Might be. Can represent 10-8. Very reasonable. I actually don't think he's going to go all in. I feel like he's going to call. But we'll see. Oh, he is going to shove.
Look at that. He does shove all in with the nut flush draw and a gut shot.
This is why you don't bet the turn. You can get blown off of your hand. Aldemir. Well, he didn't check raise a flop, but now you like to check raise on a turn. This is... He did put a check raise on one string. Now this is a strong play. Look at this. Devin Tang is going to fold the best hand. He has to fold the best hand. I would fold the best hand here.
I'm surprised he's still thinking about it.
He's thinking, well, I've got 100-something thousand left, but maybe he can read into Aldemir usually having a draw here, but he needs to be worried about Dietrich Fast actually having a hand. But you know what? Oh, he folds. I was going to say, if he calls, Dietrich Fast could probably fold a lot of hands. And look at that quick fold. The worst hand wins this pot because Dietrich bet the turn. I would say this, if I'm Dietrich and I bet this turn, I better be bluffing that river, trying to move people off of some jacks, because otherwise it makes no sense. Actually, I believe it's this third bullet, I've been told by the Poker News blogger. It says second bullet here. Could be wrong though. Confirm with them later. So Ivy only got blue chips left. 1 red chip, 2 yellows. But it's still a lot of chips.
He's not thinking about poker right now.
No, he's thinking about, am I going to jump in that short deck cash game right after this? Hope they didn't block my seat. Aldemir for really nice play. Chipped up so much in that. He chipped up 100,000 in that pot, I think. It's very nice. Now he's got ace king. This guy's here just to play his best poker. Doesn't matter how many buy-ins it takes. That was a very funny pot. Many different outcomes. And just ended up with Corey winning all the chips. Now, did anyone in the chat actually tweet at Triton Poker and tell them who they want to see on tomorrow's feature table? Because if tomorrow, you guys ask me, where's Phil Ivey, where's Tom Dwan, and you don't see them, it's because you didn't tweet at Triton Poker. So make sure you do that. Or stop complaining. Nikita Badziakowski with King 6 of spades. I think he's going to let this one go. Aldemir.
Complete damage on last 5 deals.
5 more hands after this hand, so 6 technically.
Wire raises. On Tang now, King Deuce.
Dietrich Fast, Jack 7 offsuit, dominating 10-7 offsuit. He's going to make the call. Old Dwyer getting a little bit loose with 10-7. Outflops Dietrich Fast, but Dietrich Fast has a straight draw. He's got a 40% chance to win this pot. I think Old Dwyer usually will check this flop with 10-7. Doesn't seem too beneficial to bet. Turn is a 3. Dietrich should bet this turn. He can get a lot of better hands to fold, like pocket 7s, 6s, 5s, you know, ace highs. I like to see him bet. Doesn't really matter how much he bets, because those hands will usually just fold to a reasonable bet. Like 12K. Now he checks. Dietrich, not too sure why he checks. When you're defending weaker hands, you should be looking for spots to try and pick up some bluffs, but I'm sure he's got his reasons. Maybe he's going to check raise. Well, O'Dwyer's going to start with bet on the turn, 8,500.
8.5.
To me, this looks like O'Dwyer doesn't have that great of a hand.
That's a small bet, Randy. I think if I'm fast, I'm going to call here.
Dietrich check the flop, check the turn. Has needs to hit his hand if he wants to win this pot.
He's just getting such a great price to continue.
I don't think he should fold. I think he's considering a raise sometimes, because when O'Dwyer checks this flop, he's representing he's got a 10, a 9, a weak queen. These are the type of hands that might fold, but he does check call.
Regards a jack, so fast it does catch up on the river.
Check.
And check, check. D-Trick wins the spot.
Last 5 hands.
So I think we have 4 or 5 more hands remaining. I think it's 4 now.
You're big.
Thank you.
Jet lets it go.
No. This is a big.
Devin Tang, King 5 of clubs. He's gonna raise it up. Needs to pick up some chips.
Which video game character does Tang look like to you,
9,000.
Nano?
I actually have no idea. What, are you
Chat.
thinking of someone? Seems like a Dragon Ball Z character.
I think he looks a little bit, I think it might just be the hair.
Yeah, it's the hair.
Maxi Soul Calibur.
Who plays Soul Calibur? Come on.
You played Soul Calibur.
3-bet from Ivy. Pocket Kings.
I bet you Tang could rock some nunchucks too.
I kind of wish Ivy didn't 3-bet so big, because the effective stack of Tang was actually only like 25 big blinds. I don't think he needs to make it 30,000. I think he could have had the same exact effect if he made it like 24,000, 25,000.
Maxi loses.
Even a small adjustment I would have made.
Well, your boy Phil grinding away with just around 200,000 chips. You told me you're a fighting game wizard and you've never played Soul Calibur?
I played it before, but the thing is, when you said that, I thought you were talking about Killer Instincts.
I don't even know what Killer Instincts is.
That's the thing. So maybe I have heard of Soul Calibur. I don't think I've actually ever wasted 25 cents on that game.
You've never played Soul Calibur. You're missing out.
I know. You get a weapon, right?
Depending on your character, each character has a different weapon. And in fact, there's an Ivy in Soul Calibur too.
There's a Phil Ivy.
There's not a Phil Ivy. There's an
What
Ivy.
is-
It's a chick. And she was really good. I used to use Ivy.
What does Phil Ivy do in Soul Calibur? Does he throw cards at you? Like
Well,
the 8s of spades?
I think she has some sort of long flail, maybe?
A flail? I don't even know what a flail is.
A flail. It's like a
Flail.
thing like a chain mace, basically. There are some cool names in Soul Calibur. Siegfried. That's a cool name.
Is O'Dwyer in Soul Calibur?
No, there's there's no O'Dwyer in Soul Calibur.
Dietrich fast pocket queens. Gonna raise here. Hoping for some action from his last few hands. Phil Ivy. Fold. Makita Badzikowski. Ace-7 offsuit's gonna let this one go. Playing from the small blind. No real reason to defend. He's gonna let go. Ace-Deuce. Would like to see Jetton defend this. practically a min raise. I think he already threw his chips in. Nope. Maybe not yet. Makes the call. King 7-3 flush draw. We'll see if Dietrich decides to continuation bet here. A lot of guys have different opinions. Some people bet, some people check. I kind of like betting, but some people do check here. Queens, I think you get a lot of worse hands to call you.
More hands.
I believe you're on the betting camp with Queens.
Yeah.
Yep. Jeton already checked, I believe. So should be looking at. Oh yeah. So bet of 7,500. Jeton reasonably has the best hand. He's got the backdoor nut flush draw, so I think that's why he's considering the call.
Yeah, I like the call here.
He's actually very behind. Looking to hit an ace, maybe a diamond he can make a move on.
4 or 5 or other cards he may be able to continue on.
6 of diamonds, probably going to make him lose chips unless he hits one of those cards. He's got a 25% chance to hit it though. I imagine Dietrich will check back to turn a reasonable amount. If he bets turn, he's definitely going to check back the river unless he improves to a flush, but he's going to check.
It just seems like they just showed up with only like 6
River's a 3. I think Jeton has enough showdown value where he doesn't need to turn his ace deuce into a bluff. Occasionally it'll run out like a 5 or a 4. I probably would consider betting because it's very easy for the big blind to make a straight. 1 to 3, I think you just beat like queen jack, 10 jack too much, and 8, 9. You know, those type of hands. I think just check is good. But some people, they see that they got the nut blocker to the flush, and they feel obligated to just like overbet here, right? Like just put like 50K trying to represent
Yeah,
the nut
I think
flush.
this might be a better spot to actually check raise if your opponent bets, and check and take it to showdown if he checks behind.
So like I said, some people when they get the nut flush block, they just want to pot it. So exactly what I expected Jeton to do. I do think there's enough showdown value where you don't really need to do that, given the 3 pairs. But I think Dietrich fast here. Pocket Queen's actually really tough. He's basically needs to read into that he's got floated on the flop to make this call. Because if you look at the board, no real hands make sense to be bluffing here. Because most hands have a pair, like 5, 6 and stuff. So if Dietrich makes this call, it's like a super heroic read, and nice bluff by Jeton. Actually works out this pot size bet. Who would you like to see on the featured table tomorrow? Triton Poker wants you to tell them.
That doesn't work like that. We
Tweet them at Triton Poker. Otherwise, we will give you a random table. I will choose a table. I'll choose the worst table for you guys if you don't tweet at them.
Huh? Oh wait, I already saw. I'll take it if you want to go.
I think we play, right?
So I believe,
Getting cards.
is it over, or are we playing one more
He's
hand?
not doing anything. He's picking up seed cards. So let's play a hand. Wait.
I think we're playing another hand, right?
This is.
We should be playing another hand or two.
They have no new decks.
Really?
I mean, they put that in this fucking plastic.
Well, let's just play without the RFID cards, 13 and
Someone's got some language to gotta control.
We're not.
Looks like
Careful with 2 hands.
trying
For tomorrow, they should
to change out the deck.
Yeah.
Just a couple more hands remaining. Steve will Dwyer. First one to act, he's gonna fold.
Fang lets it go over to fast. Ace 9 of clubs.
Bill Ivy gonna muck his hand.
Over to Baziakowski, who has ace 5 of diamonds. I think he's gonna want a 3-bet here.
I don't mind a 3-bet, don't mind a call. They got really deep stacks, 120 big blinds effective.
All right, Baziakowski, Ryu.
Are you kidding me?
You don't see it?
No. No.
I see a Ryu look there.
No, 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 no.
That's his video game character lookalike.
No.
27.
But he's going to 3-bet 27,000, about 3x.
Oh, Ryu definitely would have made it 27,000.
Over to Dietrich Bass. I don't think he's going to fold ace 9 of clubs because they're so deep and he suspects Baziakowski is actually trying to push him around on his last few hands of the level.
Is it just like thumb marks?
I've seen Dietrich defend like king 9 suited,
Something.
so I'll be a bit surprised if
5-10.
he folds here. He does have the best hand here. And ace 9 of clubs plays reasonably well. He is out of position, but it's good enough to see a flop.
I don't squeeze my cards.
So Baziakowski outflops Fast with bottom pair. Fast actually has backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. So if you wanted to make a move, this would be the hand to do it with. I'm not saying he should. Baziakowski, a tricky spot with bottom pair. Trying to decide if he wants to bet or if he'd rather check and try to pick off bluffs. So he checks, trying to look like he's got a weak hand. Turns a 10 of clubs. Dietrich needs to bet this turn, right? He's got too many outs. He can bluff off ace king high very easily. Ace queen, just bluff that off.
Get off this table.
Ace jack. I like a big bet here. Jack checks. Interesting. Baziakowski, bottom pair of 5s. Kind of tempting to bet now, right? Like, your 5 looked pretty good. You can get some worse hands to call, like ace-queen, I think. Kind of like betting here. I'm not sure what Baziakowski thinks. It just seems like usually you have the best hand when it goes check, 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 check. But maybe he thinks that he's up against like 6s and just trying to not put any more chips in. There was a deuce. So Dietrich Bass, I think as played, just needs to check and give up here. I don't think he can move a hand like ace-king off on the river. On the turn, he had a better chance because he can bet turn and bet river. But now he's just played his hand in a way that just seems like he can't really move a better hand off. I like to see Dietrich check here. And Baziakowski, we saw him value bet bottom pair 6 kicker earlier and got ace king high to call. Is he gonna bet this one? Maybe bet like 20,000? The way the hand plays out, I would think that if Bass had a pocket pair like 8s or like a pair of 7s or like pocket 6s,
He would have value bet.
he would value bet, right? Try to get ace king high to call.
Yeah, so Baziakowski's for sure going to go for value here.
Yeah, I would like to see a bet.
I think he's going to bet half the pot.
Yeah, nice bet here, 25,000. Dietrich Bass trying to figure out. I think he's just going to fold. I think he should fold. I like to think that if my opponent was 3-bet bluffing me, he probably would have took a stab on a turn when I checked to him twice. Why would he check to the river to bluff all of a sudden? Wouldn't he check down like ace queen high, ace jack high, also on the river? Just really doesn't seem like a logical spot for Badziakowski to be bluffing. So I'd like to see him fold here. And nice fold.
Open nines again.
Last hand for tonight.
Last hand, guys. Hope you guys have been enjoying our commentary. Me and Kane Callis. The stream will start at the same time tomorrow.
This one's marked in a different way.
I believe around 3:40 p.m. CET, roughly. Not guaranteeing that. I think you just watch the graphic. It'll tell you what time we start tomorrow.
Raise 9,000. Sorry to the system.
Ivy on the last hand of the day, raising ace-9 suited. Badziakowski with king-queen. I think
You think Badziakowski's going to call or raise?
I think he's going to call because he just 3-bet the last hand. It's the last hand of the day.
That's
Such a good hand anyways. So he did do that. With Dwyer 10-8 offsuit, going to see a flop. It's only 5,000 to win to 27,500 in the middle. It's getting better than 5-1. Doesn't need to win the pot that often. Does make the call. King, Jack, 8, Rainbow. Ivy just has nothing. The pre-flop raiser over to Badziakowski. Should be betting here. Just got 2 opponents to shake. Don't want to give free cards to 2 players. Definitely got the best hand usually. I wonder if O'Dwyer will call with bottom pair. I'm leaning towards passing, but he might make a call.
Yeah, I think O'Dwyer will let this one go.
Tricky spot. Still have to worry about Ivy having him beat. But I do think if O'Dwyer calls with bottom pair, say Ivy had a hand like Jack 9, he probably would just let it go. So maybe he doesn't have to worry about Ivy too much. But he does fold. And that's it. Final hand of our day 1 of this $1 million Hong Kong buy-in. It's 127,000 to enter this tournament. You gotta watch the bag and tag. Make sure to get their chips in there correctly. Would you like to see on the featured table tomorrow? Hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Tweet at Triton Poker. That's been me, Randy Liu, and Kane Callis commentating on his